now with The Legal Answer, a segment here twice a month on Studio 10, brought to you by the Sinas Dramis Law Firm. And here this afternoon, we're here with Katie Tucker. How are you?
I'm well, Rochelle. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
Always great to see you.
Absolutely. Always great to have you on here today because we always have the questions, but you guys always have all of the answers. Now today, I want to talk a little bit about child passenger safety laws. Now, a lot of them took effect on April 2nd right here in Michigan. So talk to us about why these new laws were enacted.
Yeah, these new laws are designed to better protect kids in Michigan. Motor vehicle crashes are a leading cause of serious injury and death in kids in Michigan. As a parent of two young kids myself, this is something that I'm very concerned about. And these laws are really, in my view, an important step to improving safety standards and reducing the risk of harm to all of our kids. Research shows that properly restraining a child using a car seat that's appropriate for their size and age can reduce their risk of death up to 50% in a car crash. So it's really significant.
So talk to us about what some of these new laws are and what should parents of children and infants be aware of?
Yes, under the new law, parents of infants and toddlers need to know that their child must now remain in a rear-facing car seat up until age 2. Research shows that rear-facing car seats better protect children from injury in the case of a crash. After age 2, toddlers can transition to a forward-facing seat, but under the new law, they must now remain in that forward-facing seat until age 5. So two new rules, rear-facing until age 2 and then forward-facing until age 5.
Okay, and that's really important to know because like we said, those laws have already gone into effect now as we speak.
Yeah.
So are there any new rules that apply to older children, however?
Yes, there are. There are 2 laws that you should be aware of, a parent of an older child. The first is that now children up to age 8 must remain in a belt positioning booster seat. Prior to the new law taking effect, children could move from a booster seat starting at age 4 or 5. Under the new law, there's a requirement that they remain in that booster seat for an additional 3 years. The second new aspect of the law that you should be aware of is that all children under age 13 are supposed to be in the rear of the vehicle, the rear seat of the vehicle, if a rear seat is available. So if you have a child under 13, they need to be sitting in the back seat.
Okay, and it's really important to know because I'll definitely say when I was under 13, there were times where I was able to slide and sit in the front, but it's really important to know that, like you said, all these laws that we're talking about today are already in effect as we speak.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, on the other hand, are there any consequences for not listening to these laws?
Yeah, absolutely. So failing to properly restrain your child in a car seat in Michigan is actually a civil infraction. Under the new laws, there's stricter penalties for non-compliance, such as court costs and fines and actually a citation. But of course, one of the biggest consequences of failing to follow the new laws is placing your child at unnecessary risk. As I said earlier, research shows that you can reduce the risk of death up to 50% by just properly restraining your child. So it behooves all of us to do that for the kids in our lives. And certainly I'm, excited to do that for my kids, and I encourage all Michiganders to know these laws and implement them moving forward.
Well, Katie, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, but we've only scratched the surface. If you want to dive deeper into this or contact Katie or anyone at the Sinas Dramis Law Firm, take a look at your screen. You can head on over to our WILX website where we'll have a lot more information. Thank you.
Thank you again, Rochelle.